Greetings. Welcome to E2E Communications. This video is going to be geared towards law enforcement, helping them understand why it's difficult for them to receive the respect that they expect or hope to get from the general public, or at least from minorities. There was an organization that was founded in the 1800s, mid 1800s, around 1850 or something around there, by this guy. His last name is Pinkerton, and he started a foundation or foundation. He started an organization called the Pinkertons, and they were supposed to be detectives, security for security company and things of that nature. And it's crazy because if you Google the Pinkertons and this organization, this foundation, or what have you, it will very subtle and very discreet, very minimal in its information pertaining to their activities of capturing slaves. So that's the basis of all law enforcement. Okay. Um, Never mind the things that they did that were good. We're going to focus on the things they did that were bad, because all actions must be looked at. Um, all history must be considered. So I would tell these law enforcement officers, these agents or what have you, picture this, okay? Let's say you're a European, let's say you're Asian or African, anything, right? Whatever race you want to be, okay? Let's say some other people, let's say African Americans enslaved your ancestors, okay? Let's say slavery is inhumane. Let's just say that, okay? Let's say that they were starved, they weren't allowed to bathe, they were forced to eat certain foods, they were raped, they were tortured, they were forced to work for free, and some of them were killed. This is what happened to your people, okay? And then you take the same people, the African Americans who enslaved your people and did all these horrific things to them, and they form a organization to capture you when you attempt to run because you have common sense, or because you have fear, or because you have knowledge of what's happened to you or what's going to happen to you, and you try to run away like any human being would do, and they come to capture you and to return you to these tortures, to these terrors, okay? Would you respect that organization? Would you respect anything to have to do with it? It would be very difficult, wouldn't it be? See, that's our plight. That's what so-called African Americans go through in this country. That's what happened to us. So when you so-called law enforcement agents, police officers, when you put on that badge, just know that that badge to minorities represents oppression. It represents bullies. It represents devils. You are what you do. Like the scriptures say, you know the tree by the fruit it bears. Are you going around, Mr. Peace Officer? Are you going around enforcing the Constitution that you swore an oath to uphold? Are you going around enforcing the Bill of Rights? Are you going around enforcing civil rights, human rights? I don't think you are. See, and until you do, you will never be respected in minority communities. You will never be liked, accepted, or any of those things because you don't deserve it. Okay? Let me tell you what you enforce. You enforce the laws of oppressors, of wealthy people who have established a system to keep poor people disenfranchised, locked up, all kind of financial disadvantages with all these fines and fees that you come up with that does not affect wealthy people. They have money. They don't care. You know what I'm saying, about these silly laws that causes us to come out of our pockets. Okay? So this is your problem, law enforcement. The very organization, the criminal organization that you are a part of, is inhumane. It's demonic. So that's why you don't get respect. Because what you enforce is prejudiced opinions. You enforce um, your own racism. You you enforce oppression, control, discrimination, racial profiling. These are the things that you enforce. These are the things that you practice. Okay? So there should be no mystery. There should be no question on why you do not get respect in the so-called African American communities. And I would say this as well, in my opinion, because of the history. Everybody else's history matters except the U.S. government or law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? Um, Everyone else's history matters. You know, uh, anything that makes you look bad, anything that is negative. Okay. Um, just look at the things that you have done. Look at the things that you do. You know, and just ask yourself if there was someone with a badge, a gun, harassing you or threatening you or committing crimes. I mean, how would that make you feel? Would you be able to embrace that if you were a normal citizen who believe in righteousness, who believe in